have held a sacred trust with water and with a vibration on the planet for centuries, for thousands of years, and I think that's important. So I will leave this presentation now to them, Becky and Vernon.
What a beautiful welcome. Children out there sharing their voices with us. When you sing, you think it first. And then you breathe in the air, and the air moves the water up through your larynx, through the tongue, out of the mouth, and the music is formed. That's how mysterious and very important and sacred water is. We come from Arizona, United States, southwestern Arizona. We settled in our area over 1,000 years ago. One of the villages of Oraibi is considered the longest continuously inhabited community in the North American continent. We're very, very proud of that, and there's about 800 people still living there. At one time, it was a big population. We are glad to be here. My thanks to Yanni for his generosity, bringing us here and treating us so royally. I don't want to go home, but I have to. So we are glad to be here with you, and I'll share you a little bit of who we are. Hopi Sinom, Moti Sinom we call ourselves, meaning first people. Using pictures. Well, we normally don't do this. My wife Becky is the one that runs the operation. I just follow her around, totally dependent on her. She does all the work. I'm very thankful for that. Okay. Thank you again. Lolma, good morning. Kwa. Umay tamoy peo ngem na ya. Pas umay tamoy tabia. Tabude palait. Ku itam piu umay kwatsta. Umay yet tangao takamay. Put that tapio highlight. Good morning, everybody. We are honored to be here for being treated so kindly. We are thankful for that. We are thankful for the knowledge that you shared with us during the last couple of days. I am really not into what you call extraterrestrial beings. I just never really got into that, and I think I know why. And I will explain that later on. Black Mesa Trust was formed by Hopi elders 1998. We are a non-profit organization. We do not accept any government grants. We depend totally on the generosity of the people who have faith in us and believe in what we're doing. And that is how we operate. Our Black Mesa Trust staff consists of myself and my wife. That's it. Everybody else volunteers to help us. And we're very thankful for getting so many people to join our circle of directors and advisors. Black Mesa Trust mission is to save water using a combination of Western science, Hopi knowledge and wisdom. That's how we work to save the water. Mining operation, the world's largest strip mining operation, started on our land in 1970. From 1970 to the present time, over 45, close to 50 billion gallons of fossil water, that's ice age water, was pumped out by the company, and the water is used to transport ground coal 270 miles into Nevada, the neighboring state to Arizona. And we wanted to do something about that, save water for future generation, because 45 billion gallons of water would sustain the entire Hopi population for over 300 years. We are a small group of people. And we use water wisely. We use and reuse water. Many households still, by choice, do not have running water in their homes. They haul their water in buckets from the springs, like we did in the old days. So we're very conservative. The mining company feed 2 stations, Mojave and Navajo generating stations, 2 of the largest plants in the United States. Navajo generating station was done by United States Congress to provide cheap, reliable electricity to bring water from Colorado River over a 320-mile canal, an aqueduct, open aqueduct, to provide water for Phoenix and Tucson, and reliable, low-cost electricity for millions of customers in central and southern Arizona, Southern California, and Nevada. That was the reason Congress authorized and put up money, $100 million to build the Navajo generating station. We organized to shut the mine down so we can save water for future generations of our children. And we do that relying on the wisdom and knowledge of our elders And on science, we use the two. We have a strand that we use to demonstrate this. And this is what it is. It means many other things, but for this purpose, we combine Western science, indigenous wisdom. If you want a string, we'll leave on the table and you can pick it up. Someone said after my speech, you know what's that's called? Vernon's string theory. Okay. All right, let's now give the introduction. From the villages. Okay.
This guy doesn't know how to follow PowerPoints. That's where he was starting.
Villages, farming. Yeah, farming.
So one of the reasons that we were fighting for our water is because Hopis have been farmers in a desert for thousands of years. And so it's very important that we have that belief that you preserve, you save water, never waste water. So here you see pictured is a farmer, a Hopi farmer from, I don't know, probably the 1800s picture, or late 1800s picture, farming in his field.
That is the photo of a village on top of a mesa. Black Mesa, where we live and where the mining is going on, is shaped like a human hand, like this. The mining is here. The villages are at the three fingers. We call it first mesa, second mesa, third mesa. This picture here is on second mesa, a village called Musangnuvi. It's a very important village. It's part of the Hopi creation stories, which is another story I can tell you about. We teach through stories, and that's what I'm doing. I'm a storyteller. We Hopis are nonviolent people. We don't believe in making war. We are conscientious objectors. And because of that, our men refuse to serve in the military and refuse to obey the federal government's dictatorial dictates. And for that, they were taken to prisons. This one, our elders from my village of Hotvela, and they were put on Alcatraz because they thought as people living in the United States, they were protected by the Constitution that honors their right to their own way of life and to their religion. And for refusing to do that, they were shackled up and taken to Alcatraz. They were charged with, what was the name of it?
Seditious act against the government.
Act of sedition. They were kept there about 18 months. The other group were taken to Japanese prison camps during World War II because, again, they refused to to fight. And my uncle, Roger, who passed away 2 years ago, was at the camp near Tucson. And he befriended a Japanese doctor, and from him he learned the Japanese language, and Hopi language. One day a group of Japanese tourists came, 30 of them, from the Goei Foundation. They were looking for a place to plant a peace pole, and they were told to go to Hopi. So they did. They didn't know where to put it. They didn't know anybody there, but someone told them, go to me. He'd been to Japan. So they came and spent several days with us. And I took them to my village, and the ladies were having a food sale in the plaza. And ladies came out and invited guests to come in, buy their food. They all did. Then they want to perform a ceremony. He said, okay for us to do a ceremony. He said, let me ask my uncle, he lives right there. So I went inside the house and told Roger that there was a request by the Japanese guest if they would do a ceremony. So he came out, and I was just totally surprised that he started talking to them in Japanese. It was really, really a shock to me to see a Hopi his age, never been to Japan, talking Japanese. And they did a ceremony, and before they left, they knocked on the door about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I went out, and here were all of them. And they pointed to the ground, and there was the peace pole. They planted it right there. When I was making a patio, I left a circular area. I did cover it. I just left it open. And my grandsons would say, how come you never finish your job? We'll do it for you. I said, no, leave it alone. And that was where they put the peace pole. It's still there. What an honor. We Hopi people are children of maize, corn. We call maize, corn, mother. Because before we started to plant corn domestically, our people were out there always looking for something to eat, wild corn. Until one day they figured out how they can plant it. Once they started doing that, they raised enough corn that they could store it. They didn't have to be out there every day looking for food. So they had time to do things, make things, and for example, making a textile. That's all woven by man. Then they organized their religion, and did many other things, and created a civilization. That's why we call corn mother of our civilization, mother. We raise 6 varieties of corn. Yeah, we...
Couldn't find the purple one.
Yeah,
purple one.
Yeah, the purple one is not in the picture. We didn't get all of it. 6 varieties of corn. And those 6 varieties of corn represents 6 directions. 6 directions. The sweet corn represents what we call the lower world, meaning the depth of the ocean, from whence we all came. All life comes from there. We come to earth, our bodies are solidified, but inside is still sacred water. When our body dies, the water in our body ascends to the cloud people as vapor, as mist, breath, to the cloud people, to the celestial sea. On this earth, there are 4 major races of people. White, that's why we have the white corn. Blue corn, red corn, yellow corn. So add that to the sweet corn and you got 5. Then the 6th one is the home of the cloud people, our ancestors, who are still with us today. They continue to be part of the hydraulic cycle. When they reach the home of the clouds, they come back down as rain and snow, water the plants, replenish the lakes, aquifers. As they come down, hit the earth and start going back home to the ocean through the river. We're going back home. They get to the ocean, rest, and they come back again. And repeat the cycle. Here is a picture of a water crystal that we took from one of our wells up on Black Mesa where the mining is. And this is the water that Peabody Coal Company was using, wasting. And if you look within the crystals, you notice it's formed around 6 points. 6 points. Responding to the 6 directions. Water is like a glue. It connects our continent to other continents, other islands, to the universe. Water is the glue that binds all life here in the universe. That's why we say water is life, water is sacred, Water is a living spirit. I said that earlier that we are liquid. We transition from liquid to solid. And we represent it by this water gourd. The gourd is the body. Inside is the sacred water. That's what that represents. And see a picture of the cloud with blue, red, yellow. They represent the water, the sun, and the earth. That's what that cloud symbol represents. And you see rain coming down, and it forms a symbol, a water energy symbol. You know, like this. Yeah, that one right there. Okay. Like I just got through talking, we all come from Patuwakachi, a water world, the ocean. And we represent that with a sweet corn. We come to the earthly world, we call it Tuwakachi. Patuwakachi means, comes from the word Pahu, water. Tuwa, sand. Kachi, life. So it means water, sand, life. Patuwakachi. Then we go to Tuwakachi, land, life, the sand world. And it's represented by 4 colors of corn, varieties of corn: white, blue, red, yellow, representing 4 major races of people here on earth. When we pass away, we go up to what we call Tokbela, the cloud world, the celestial sea. And that is represented by a purplish corn we call Masayesva, mother. We'll talk about Masayesva a little bit later, who Masayesva is. We rest there and we come back. And go back up and come back. Endless, infinite cycle. And because we are all water people, we will live eternally. As long as there's water, we are here. We're going to be here. Okay.
And you did that one already.
Huh?
You did that. You did about the coal.
Okay. Black Mesa Trust, as I said, was organized to save water, sacred waters. And the mining started in 1970. And so here you have a picture of how they operate. They got these huge machines. The first thing they do is they'll just level off the ground, cut down all the bushes, the trees. Then they start digging into the coal vein. And in the process of leveling and cleaning out the brushes, the trees, they destroy hundreds of archaeological sites. They are homes of our ancestors who settled there before they settled in the villages. That's where they first settled. So there are literally, not literally, but more specifically, according to Peabody website, they did a survey within their leasehold area and discovered 2,500 archaeological sites. 2,500. Unknown number of burial sites. So we have no idea how many of our homes, which represents our footprints, our memory of who we are, of where we came from. They literally tore pages from our history, erased our footprints. We don't know how many sites were deliberately destroyed, accidentally destroyed, saved. We have no idea of the magnitude of the destruction. We have no idea how many of our burials have been destroyed. So Black Mesa area is literally a graveyard. And the federal mining regulation, law and regulations prohibits mining in a cemetery. But that's ignored because Phoenix need water, Tucson need water. They gotta figure out a way to get it there, and the best way is to use coal and lots of water. Okay. Before the mining started, here's the coal seam. See how thick it is. It's the richest coal. The best coal you can find anywhere in the world. Why so much coal in a dry desert is what I can't figure out. No one can. You know, coal comes from plants. So this, at one time, must have been literally under the water. It must be a swampland with all kinds of dinosaurs wandering around. How come? Okay. Before the mining started in 1970, right here.
Yeah, the graph.
Right there. That was the amount of water we were using. That went from there to there. Then the mining started. And Peabody started pumping water up.
This is
Oh, yep,
Peabody's right
that's
there.
the Peabody one right there. Look how huge it is compared to how much water we were using. We were able to miraculously, and I think with the help of the people out there somewhere, we did shut down the coal slurry pipeline. Something people said was impossible, but we succeeded. Mining in one leasehold ended 2005, and the coal from that leasehold was the one that transported water to Laughlin, Nevada, to a giant coal-fired generating station, using on the average of 4,000 acre-feet of water. 4,000 acre-feet of water. An acre feet contains 326,000 gallons. Peabody paid us. It's not actually Peabody, it's owners of Mojave Generating Station in Nevada paid us through Peabody $1.67 for an acre feet of fossil water. $1.67 for every 326,000 gallons of pristine drinking water, the best you can find anywhere in the world. Healing water, beautiful water. That's gone. That's gone. Mining is still going on. It's using much less water now, 1,200 acre feet, but that's still more than what the entire Hopi population is using, which is why we want to end the mining. And I believe, again, with the help of people out there, our ancestors, we are going to succeed. I'm convinced of that. It took a long time. And now we've been running Black Mesa Trust for 25 years. We got some ways to go, but I think we will finally achieve our goal, and particularly with your support. To bring attention to what's happening to our sacred sites, to our historical sites, we put together a resolution called Declaration of Memory, which will protect historical sacred sites, not just on our land, on Colorado Plateau, but all over the world. We're doing it for the world. They are repositories of our memories, and they need to be preserved and not destroyed. That really had motivated us to do this was the destruction of one of the oldest sacred temples somewhere, I forgot what country, maybe Afghanistan or something, that was destroyed. And many other have been destroyed as a result of war that's going on. So to save our area, we introduced that resolution to bring attention, international attention to what's happening. We also want to do that to preserve Sipa'apuni. Sipa'apuni. Very sacred site, place of emergence from the third world, the Hopi, to the present fourth world. Okay, that is a graph put together by a government hydrologist connecting the Earth through the moon through 55-gallon water barrels full of water. And he said that at the rate the mining is going, the amount of water being used, you could fill 3 barrels of 55 gallons of water right there. That's not ours. That came from a federal hydrologist who wants to remain anonymous. Okay. This is Prophecy Rock. Picture of Prophecy Rock. Down at the bottom is the third world, our motherland, from whence we came. We came because the leaders of the cities in Mexico, Central America, Masayesva America we call it, became very corrupted, evil. So those cities were destined to be destroyed. Our elders knew about it. And they got together and say, we have to leave this place, find a safe homeland for our children. But where can we go? We came here to the third world from somewhere. One old man said, we came from Bethlehem. We were guided by the sun. We rowed boats, rafts, made of bamboo. In those days, the continent was broken up into tiny little islands. So we jumped from one island to another island until the people, our ancestors, landed in the Gulf of Mexico, somewhere near Veracruz, where Columbus also landed. And they started the third world. They were taught how to build these beautiful pyramids by people whose technology is so advanced. They didn't need any machinery to build the pyramids. My mentor, Jerry Honawa, who knows more about this than I do, was not able to build here because the doctors diagnosed him with lung cancer. So he can't travel. So I really miss him. He is the one to tell the story. Then they left us, in their custody. But they left us to be guardians of the land. And we tried, but we failed. We're failing today. And this tells the story. When we came here, right there, on this side is a picture of Masa. On the other side is a perfect circle. Right above that, you could barely see it right there, is a picture of the cross. That's when the Europeans came, the Spaniards. And they had this concept of property. So with each step they took, they say, this is mine, this is mine. We are taking this in behalf of the King of Spain. And that's what they did to us. They took control of our land. We couldn't fight back because we don't believe in that kind of a thing. We thought they would come and help us, but they forced us into their religion. They outlaw our religious ceremonies. And so they took us up to the upper path right there, the first one. But this way. Yeah. They Christianized us, took away our names, gave us Spanish names. And we're very brutal in suppressing those who denied their orders of not doing our religion, which they say is the religion of the heathen. Heathen. Heathen, I'm sorry. And if they catch somebody doing it, they would take him to the plaza and burn him. Nevertheless, a lot of the priests went underground.
Hopi priest.
Hopis. Now, the bottom one line, see, that is Masao's path. That's his path. You could see him here and then up here, right there. Later on, the United States took the land over and did the same that the Spaniards did, forbid the practice of our religion. Sent our young men to boarding schools where they kept them 4 years. During the time that they should be getting initiated into various religious societies, they weren't there, which is why that broke down. The perfect circle broke. That upper path has an ending. That's the fourth world. We're at the 11th hour. But there is a connecting line right there. There's still, that means hope. Hope. Now, also, you could barely see it, but there's a circle here and a circle there. This one here. And then a half circle there. Represents World War I, II, III. The third one is not complete yet. Okay. Yeah. There is a prophecy song that says, one day you will sell sacred water, which we did. For this you will be punished. Springs once abundant will dry up, and you will begin your exodus. You will lose the privilege of living here. You will have broken a covenant with me where you promise to follow my path in return for saying here, this is the safest place on earth. Jerry Hano once said, every drop of rain has its song. Every raindrop has its own. That means every water drop is its own little universe, its own individual, an ancestor. And one of our friends said, water is a medium for growth. To wonder is to grow, not to know. To grow, you grow spiritually. You grow Masa's path. To know is you follow the upper path, which is the path of science and technology. To know. It has no heart. And that's what's driving us to the ending of the fourth world. We now worship the material things. And we're forgetting the sacred path. So we gotta put it back together. Using science and technology, like that thread. We need to put it back together. And I think we are beginning to do that. I really do. I can sense that movement now starting. We are now working with science. I heard some beautiful messages from the scientists that were at our meetings last couple of days. And I am honored, very honored, that there is now this thinking that there needs to be a new paradigm. Einstein tried to figure out how energy comes about. And he said it's a mass multiplied by the speed of light twice. We have that same formula. In our case, energy is man whose consciousness is raised. And that's what we need to do. Come together. Come together. Put our minds and hearts together. And carry out our intent, which is to bring holiness back to earth. Heal our mother, who is crying because she's ill. No one listening. We need to listen and help and do our part. We have to do it. No one else can do it for us. That's why one Hopi elder said, you are the ones you have been waiting for. Okay. There's the picture of Masa. I looked at it one day and said, that represents a water molecule. 2H and O, a water molecule. I just learned it about 5 years ago. Okay.
Kept going.
Yeah.
I already went through that.
No, let's just go beyond. I already kind of mentioned that. We know. We don't speculate. We already know that there are so doomed, starved people living out there on the Milky Way. And they're here with us. They appear to some people for some reason. But the Hopi say, when we're at the ending of the fourth world, where we're in the verge of destroying it, they will begin to appear more and more frequently to more and more people because they're checking up on us to see if we're doing a good job taking care of the earth like we promised to do. And we're not doing it. Here are Katsinam. Katsinam. Like, here is the Kiva. Here is the priest praying to the Kachinas. Kachinas come to us as sun, moon, lightning, snow, rain, animals, insects, whatever, as nature. And we befriend them. We join them. Anywhere, instantaneously. We become the moon. The moon becomes us. We are twins. We combine. When the Kachina ceremony, dancing is over, we go back. Separate. Another dance. This time it might be the star. See? Okay, yeah. So you see some of the pictures of Kachinam, and we could talk quite a bit about that. They're here. They're visiting us. They're going to help us. Someone gave me this. I'm a member of the Water Coyote. They call me Coyote Boy. And that guy is Peabody. We went to Japan and actually met up with a guy that big, and I was that size. So somebody gave that to me. Okay, now.
That's it.
Paipasa, thank you so much. But again, one more point. Together, we can. Together, we have the energy, the power to imagine, the power to make things, the ability to communicate. We have the Creator gifted us with those powers. We need to know how to use it. We are not aware of it. We don't know how to use it yet, but we need to do that. And together we can. Kwakai, thank you.